Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel GH247 News Outlet. Wherever you are in the diaspora, this is for you. You are in Ghana, you are in Nigeria. In fact, this special episode is for my brothers in Ghana and my Nigerian siblings, especially my Igbo brothers. I want to be very clear and categorical in all that I'm about to say here. Listen, Ghanaians in Ghana might not know Nigerians very well. I have known Nigerians for the past how many years of my life? From the age of 9 years, I started traveling to Nigeria. My second house that I built is in Nigeria, Lagos. For my siblings that are there, I am 100% Ghanaian. I live with Nigerian community. I know almost every tribe in Nigeria and how they behave. Now, this message goes straight away to my siblings from Igbo land. Ghanaians, you might think they are timid, they are quiet by nature, but they are not stupid. Don't try to take advantage of someone's quietness. When the lion seems to be sleeping, does not mean that lion is out of power. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. What is it that we have been hearing the past few days that an Igbo king wants to establish his kingdom in Ghana? I heard it the past week and have been quiet. I've been watching and I tried to go to social media to find out exactly what was happening. Listen, Igbo, I understand the mantra, and my fellow Ghanaians get it from me. You know, Igbos from Nigeria, they believe in what God told the Israelites: wherever the soles of your feet shall trespass, possess it. Because God told the Israelites, wherever the soles of your feet shall trespass, then you have to put. They believe so much in that. And so, anywhere they find themselves, even in a foreign land, they feel like the land belongs to them. They want to do whatever they want to do. And they'll start to establish themselves gradually. The next thing is just like living with an Igbo man in your house, your rented apartment. That Igbo man, you are the one that rented apartment, and maybe you just gave him a single room, one room to live in your apartment that you have rented, that the landlord knows you. It is your name on the agreement in that apartment. The moment you allow that man to stay with you, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, the next thing you will hear, there will be a problem. And you'll be asking him, this apartment is mine, move out. He will tell you he's not going anywhere. He will fight you. He will cause all sorts of problems, and he will tell you he is not going anywhere. And you ask yourself, is he the one that rented the apartment, or is he the one that got the apartment for you? And you'll be like, you'll be mad. Hey, listen, no Igbo kingdom in Ghana. It can never be accepted, it will not be accepted, and it shouldn't be allowed. I have Igbo friends. My best friends are Nigerians, and they are Igbo, for Christ's sake. I have dinners with them every time, now and then. They help me when I'm in need. When they need my help, I also assist them. But there are certain things that should not be permitted. Ghana is a sovereign nation. Listen, guys, you know my anger in this most. Maybe we don't understand when we talk about king. How on earth will you go to somebody's land and you are claiming that you are a king in another person's land? Do you know the meaning of the word king? A king has a kingdom. And a kingdom is a territorial area. Get it clearly. Don't come here and insult me or say otherwise. I know exactly what I'm talking about. A king has a kingdom. And a kingdom has a territorial area. And in order to have a territorial area, you must have the land that you can demarcate, that this is my territory. and you rule over that land. That is a kingdom. In Ghana, we have chiefs and 1, 2, or 3 kings that we can, self-acclaimed, which is not actually recognized by the constitution. But why those kings, 3, 4 kings, maybe the Ashanti kingdom, maybe Tobi Afede, and the Dagomba king in the north, and maybe the Ekwapim or Pamu, because they have made their throne huge, so they are respected as kings in Ghana. That does not mean that a foreigner can just come into Ghana, a sovereign nation, and establish his own kingdom. As in, what sense? For what reason? Because, you see, one thing I observed in this whole issue on social media with the so-called king is that he's gotten the opportunity to meet with our current president whilst he was in opposition. This is one thing. Ghanaians, we are accommodating. We give reception. We are very open-minded. We are lovely people. We welcome people. It does not mean that by virtue of our president then in opposition welcoming you to have one-on-one, have chats, gives you the room to begin to establish. Listen, that hearing that he's buying 50 acres of land to establish Igbo kingdom in Ghana. God forbid. God forbid. Whoever that sold the land, that person should be prepared to return or to refund the money. This is not to say that we don't want Igbos to live in Ghana. No. Far be it. Where I live, we have various communities. Where I stay, I'm in a foreign land, right? Thousands of Nigerians here, and they have their communities, and they have every Ghanaian community here. We have leaders, of course, which I'm one of those. But I cannot stand here right now and say I am a Ghanaian king in Malaysia. When Malaysia have their own kingdom, with their own king, recognized in every state. You don't do that in a sovereign nation. There are chiefs in Ghana. Ghana will recognize chiefs. And before you become a chief, before you are given that title, it is from your lineage. You inherit it. We don't buy it in Ghana. We don't buy chieftaincy title in Ghana. Ghana is not like Nigeria where you make small money, few thousands of dollars, and you go and buy title. We don't do that. Before you are made a chief, not even a king, before you are made a chief, it is in your lineage, your ancestors, or the community where you live in, the Ghanaian community where you live in, looking at your impact, your role in that community, the community elders, they can recognize you and give you a title, maybe developmental title, as a developmental chief, to honor you. That does not make you a king. You come from Nigeria. I understand. What's his name? You are married to a Ghanaian lady. Yes. Fair be it. You know, I know most of Nigerians. Guys, Ghanaians, listen. You see, most Nigerians, they know what they want. Especially these are Igbo brothers. They will come in, they have wives in Nigeria. They will still travel to abroad, they will marry an extra wife in abroad so that they can get the legal documents. Oh, I have a wife, so I have the permit, the right to stay in the land. Gradually, they'll be establishing themselves. Gradually, the next thing they want to impose themselves on the land. You marry a Ghanaian wife, yes, a Ghanaian lady, yes. You begin to do well. You establish business, 1 or 2 businesses, yes. Then you begin to impose yourself, carry yourself, a king. You have the audacity, the guts to now claim you are a king of Igbo, and you want to establish Igbo kingdom in Ghana. Listen, we are not naive people. Ghanaians are not naive. And let me say, this to my fellow brothers in Ghana, Ghanaians. Don't be stupid. Don't. I saw a video, Captain Smart, a popular radio and TV presenter. I thought he should have known better. Being awarded a chieftaincy title by this same so-called Nigerian IGBO king in Ghana. You are damned. You are damned. I don't want to use that other word. On your own land. No, guys, come to think of it. On your own land, somebody comes to install you as a chief. On your land, you sold your birthright. You are either one to install him as a chief, or he's the one to give you the chieftaincy. You've given your right as the owner of the land to another kingdom, and they are making you sub chief. How much have they given you? How much have they given you? How much did the so-called IGBO king give you for that crown he has given to you? You even bow, you kneel to receive the crown from him. How much did he pay you? Allegedly, we understand you receive money in terms of cash. Captain Smart, it has been alleged. How much did the so-called IGBO king pay you? You be quiet, we know. We will not tolerate this. We will not take it. The fact that we saw the so-called IGBO king in a meeting with president. By then, he wasn't the president, he was an ex-president, he was then in opposition. We saw him with some dignitaries. And you see, that is how Nigerians they operate. They will use their influence, their money to try to penetrate, to get all the contacts. Then they'll begin to, we will not sell our birthright. If you want to establish a kingdom, go back to your Nigeria, Imo State, Akwa Ibom State, Delta State. Go and establish your kingdom there. We don't care. We don't want to know. We don't want to hear that it's just like a leader elected. Who elects a king? In Ghana, there are processes you go through if you have a chieftaincy title. Let me ask, which lineage is he coming from in Ghana? Who installed him as a king, as a chief? Talk less of being a king. What is his title? Gazetted. Is Ghana National House of Chiefs? Ghana National House of Chiefs, are they aware of what is happening about his title, about his kingdom? Ghana National House of Chiefs. We have a National House of Chiefs. Are they aware of his title, his kingdom, his lineage? Is it gazetted and published in the newspapers in Ghana? This so-called man, IGBO king, he called himself, must be stopped. Let me see if I can get his name. He ought to be stopped right now. Yes. He ought to be stopped today before. Listen, we cannot joke with the future of Ghana. These guys, look at Nigeria. I watched a video when last weekend, President Mahama was in an event where after the refund was made to our, higher institutions, our universities, first year university students, after the refund of the admission was made to them, and we saw students jubilating in some of the hostels. We saw on our TL, on our timeline, on X or Twitter, we saw it how Nigerians were reacting. Whether these are hostels for students or they are hotels. Ordinary hostel for students in Ghana is causing rage in Nigeria, and we want to allow Nigerians to come and take a kingdom in Ghana. They are their problem. They are part of the problem Nigeria is facing. The division. Why must they have when you travel to any part of Europe or America, you have Ghanaian association. We don't have Ewe association, Ashanti association, this as no. Ghanaians come together as a Ghanaian association in that country. But it's only Nigeria that tribalism is deep down. Division deep down. No Biafra state in Ghana. We will not sit back and watch that to continue. I'm sorry, my friends who are from Nigeria, my siblings, my brothers. I love you guys so much, but there are some things you guys know my heart. I love you guys so much, but for the sake of my own future, the future of my children, my generations to come, we will not tolerate this. Not today, not tomorrow, not in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, let me end it here. This is my take on the issue. No Nigerian kingdom in Ghana. No Igbo kingdom in Ghana. Nigerians are welcome to have their stay in Ghana, invest, do business, marry Ghanaians, enjoy the state of Ghana, the Gold Coast of Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana is not for the highest bidder. I'll see you guys in the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.